Hi everyone, I'm very excited. This is video number 4 in our Jesus the I Am series, and today we're looking at Jesus' statement in the Gospel of John, I am the door. I am the door, Jesus said. And when Jesus said that, he was making specific reference to a shepherding analogy. He was describing a pen or a sheepfold in which sheep were contained and secure, and he himself was the door to that sheep pen. And what we know from what Jesus said there as describing himself as the door is that he was offering to the sheep fellowship and security. When he made that statement that he's the door, he was saying, for the sheep in this pen, I am security and I'm fellowship. You know, notice that Jesus didn't describe himself as a door or one of many doors. He described himself as the door. It's singular. He was the only door for the sheepfold. You know, it's really interesting because Jesus was talking to an audience who were very familiar with shepherding and caring for sheep in the nearby lands that were there at the time in Near Eastern culture. And Jesus was actually making reference to the fact, a very common illustration at that time. And what would actually happen is that shepherds would be out in the midst of the wilderness, in faraway places, away from populations, and they'd be out in the wilderness. And basically, they would set up a pen, especially at night. And there would be solid walls in the pen where the sheep were contained. And secondly, there would be only one passageway in and out, or one gateway in and out. And what would actually happen, this is fascinating, catch this, is that the shepherd would be known to actually literally lie across the entrance to the sheepfold, to the pen at night. And that was the way of protection against predators such as wolves especially. The shepherd himself would actually lie across that gateway, across that passageway, and offer that protection to the sheep. So thereby the shepherd literally becomes the door. The shepherd literally becomes the door in that illustration. And that just for me makes this all the more just captivating and inspiring and just amazing, because Jesus is saying, hey, I will literally lie across the passageway for you. If you're my sheep, I will lie across the passageway and offer you security from the predators on the outside. I myself will put my body on the line. I will put me on the line against the predators to keep you safe and protected. What an awesome thing to say. What an awesome encouragement for any man or woman out there. We're all desiring security. We all want a sense of safety. We all want a sense of protection. Just going through life, we regularly will find ourselves at some sort of risk or danger. In my own nation recently in Australia, we've just had enormous bushfires that have threatened homes and lives. You know, what an assurance to know in a massive disaster or threat like that you can have a shepherd, the door, Jesus, actually say, I will lie across the gateway and offer myself as protection if you're one of my sheep. What an awesome encouragement and reassurance for us. You know, Jesus describes himself as someone that is actually protecting and offering himself for the sake of the sheep. He contrasted it with other leaders that had come and gone and said, they've come to exploit you. They've come to take from you what they wanted. But he contrasts himself with those leaders saying, I am actually here to give to you. I'm actually here to protect you. I'm actually here to give you fellowship. I'm actually here to offer myself for your benefit, for your security, for your well-being. And he contrasts himself with those leaders. We can look across history and see leader after leader after leader that is exploited, that is oppressed, that is sought to take from the people for their own benefit. Jesus is not that kind of a leader. He's the good shepherd. He's the door that lays across the entrance, the passageway, and lays himself down for the sake of his sheep. He describes a situation there with this sheep and shepherding analogy as where the sheep can come and go through this passageway, and the sheep would especially come in at night for that security, but then obviously in the day they would come out from the sheep pen, from the sheepfold. And this really describes, I believe, the comings and goings of life, the daily activities and motions and doings of our life, the coming and going, the daily things of our lives, the going to other cities, going to other nations, doing activities, doing different experiences, doing the normal things of life. And Jesus is saying, I watch over those that are mine and their comings and goings. I will watch over and provide security for the comings and goings of life. Furthermore, I believe Jesus is saying, I provide for the needs of my sheep. I offer myself for the needs of my sheep throughout their life, their comings and goings. I offer myself to provide for their needs. That's what he was also saying when he said, I am the door for the sheep, and when he describes himself as the one watching over them. But finally, I'd make this point that he's saying that if you're a sheep in my pen, I give you fellowship. I give you the fellowship with me 24 hours a day. I give you communion, relationship with me 24 hours a day. Not just the protection, not just the security, but fellowship with me 24 hours a day. And I want to just ask you this question. Do you have that fellowship with Jesus? Do you have protection? Do you go about your life, no matter what happens, with a sense of security and protection? No matter where you go, what you do, do you have that sense of security and protection? I want to encourage you that Jesus can offer you that security, that protection that you need. No matter what you're doing, no matter what's going on in your life, Jesus can give you the security and protection that you need if you give yourself to Him.